No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays for you in the Soviet Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the KV-5. If you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the video for the third mark of excellence of this tank. And as well as that, it's Throwback Friday! Whoa! Yeah! Friday, so that means you've got one day to the weekend, which for most people is a happy thing. For me, well, that's work time for me. Yeah, my weekend's like Monday and Tuesday. Still got 2 days to go. It's fine. So, yeah, as we do always on every Friday until we run out of replays, which pretty much is coming up at some point soon for 3 marks, because I've still got a couple of 3 marks that I've still got left to document on the channel yet from before 6.0, and this is just one of them. Like, this game that we're watching now on Cliff is from a wee while ago, you know. I feel like this is from maybe before the crossplay update. Yeah, I think it... Oh, no, the crossplay update's in. I just know that this is an old replay. This is one I had quite a while ago. And then I remember... Because I remember the grind quite well, actually, for the KV-5's third mark. And that's because I played this game, and this was, like, a really good game, right? And I can't remember what it put it up to. But it put it within reach. And then I ended up just mucking it up with the next game and just going, screw this, I'm not doing this. And then I ended up having another game, and I ended up just playing it randomly, like, probably a month or two later. And I had a game that was not that great, but it put me up with to like 94.8 or something like that, 94.9. It was really close, I remember that anyway. And it was a game that was nothing to shout about. It was a pretty poor game, to be honest. And then we had the next game, which put me over the line. So, anyway, with Cliff, we have actually taken a position that it's kind of risky to take. I'm not a fan of taking this corner. I don't know why I did it at the time. I think it's just because the damage was in front and it was like, yeah, I'm going to take that position. But this position can be extremely risky because there can be TDs sat at the back down the AB line, well, down the 1-2 line, I should say, not the AB line, down the 1-2 line, and you sometimes can't spot them. So they can sit there with impunity and shoot you, and you can't shoot them, you can't spot them. And it's a big problem. But right now I am trying my best to get some damage out. I'm trying to use the armour of the KV-5 as effectively as I can, which is basically angling this thing so that I'm trying to bait them, basically, to shoot my side armour. Because if they shoot my front, they'll shoot the droid, and the droid will get penned, because that's just the way that this tank rolls. And we're having to keep popping shots into these guys and just hoping that they don't pen me. So you see, he shot my side armour there and bounced. But unfortunately I bounced on him. Because that's the sad thing of the KV-5, and the standard round is poor, really, for a tier 8 tank. I mean, that's why it's a pref tank, but 167, yeah, it's not going to get you far. And even on in a Mill 1, and definitely on a Stone Cold, you're not going to pen them. So we're having to fire a fair amount of premium here, which is always sad when you're playing a premium tank, because you want to be making money, right? But I want to make sure I'm penning these guys. So you can see, like, I'm pummeling shots into this Stone Cold. If he was face on to me, I couldn't pen him with standard. But with the premium, yeah, I can. You see, I've switched back, though, because he was sitting sideways on, and I was thinking, yeah, I can pen him if he sits sideways on. So, and like I said, I've got 8. If you see how many premium rounds I have left, it's 8. And there's a lot of tanking left to be done. So I want to be using them for tanks that I need them, which is this Patriot, because this Patriot has an upper plate that I need about 210, 220 pen to effectively pen. I think it's about that. No, it might even be less than that. It's 200 pen. I think it's 200 pen flat. To effectively pen a Patriot in the front, you need about 200 pen. Which, yeah, my standard rounds never in a million years are going to go through the front of a Patriot. So the premium is needed. But at the same time, I'm still going to bounce with the premium, because the premium is still like a 50-50 chance of penning him. As you see, we're bouncing, which is pretty annoying. And we're trying to like finish this guy off, because we have 320 alpha, right? We can finish him, and luckily enough, just as he pulls back, his upper plate hangs in the breeze, and we managed to slam a shot straight into it. Now we bounce something from back in their base, and it's like, okay, I'm not pushing this now. I'm going to pull back and try and help this guy against the Gorinich. Well, the Gorinich gets shut down by the Earthshaker, and it's like, right, okay, we're going to fall back into this middle section and just not bother with that, because if we're a blind Russian heavy tank, right, we're not going to spot what is sitting in that base, and who knows, we might have got lucky and bounced a shot that meant that we could have died there if he'd penned us, you know. So we don't want to push into the unknown. So we're going to go up here and shoot these guys that are coming down the HG line, even. But I also want to shoot them and look to make sure that I'm not going to push to the right and get spotted by something that comes around on the left. So nothing really comes around on the left. So it's like, okay, we're going to go around here and go for this Challenger and try and get a shot into this, like I say, this medium tank. So if we get the right spot, we can shoot these guys. So we come round, get a nice shot to finish off the Challenger. We're on to 4 kills, 4k damage, which is very good for this tank. And then all of a sudden, there's a TD sitting behind us. And we don't notice it at this point. We're like, okay, we're going to get a shot at this Minuteman. We get a nice shot to track him. And it's like, oh no, there's a stay of Affentrager. And that's what must have bounced us off us earlier on. We get a nice shot into him. He bounces off our ass. There's now a medium there, which is not good. It's a Pantera. We get another shot into the stayer. Now we're 1 versus 4, and we haven't got a hope in hell, have we? This is one of those moments, and we get finished off by the Pantera. Caught in a little bit of indecision there to shoot the Pantera, or I should have just gone for the Vengeance, but unfortunately they shut me down. But it was still a great game for the KV-5. It meant that we could move up a decent amount. We've got high caliber, ace tanker. Yeah, we're up to 90.8, so that's what it put me on. At that point, I think I was below 85, and I was like, wait, I'm now at 90, nearly 91? Damn, alright. And I played it a bit more, it didn't go very far, and then I stopped playing it for a while. But then, like I say, I just randomly played it again, and it was like, oh, you know, at like 94.5, 0.6, 0.7. I can't remember the exact number, I just know I was above 94.5, so it was like, you know, you didn't need too much to get the 3rd mark on it. And then we got this game on El Haloof. Now, El Haloof is possibly not a map that I really wanted to see in the KV-5, and that's purely because it's a 50-50 map as to what's actually going to happen and how the fight's going to progress, because if tanks take certain positions on the map, it can make it quite awkward and frustrating, and the KV-5 can be a very good tank, but it can be very awkward and frustrating to use. So obviously you want more like corridory city maps. So obviously at this point we still had Berlin, we still had we already have Himmelsdorf, but we had Berlin, Himmelsdorf, you know, maps like that. So it's kind of like hoping for a map like that where we could get to use side-scraping abilities, get brawling. But we've got El Haloof. And I wanted to push this corner, because obviously I like to go to like B2, B3 on El Haloof, because that's a good place to be. But I actually want to push and get some shots into these guys on this corner. Now you see, the problem with pushing this corner is that it makes it quite easy for people to pen you. Now, we're firing standard at that Roger Dodger. We've managed to track it. Look, unfortunately for us, nobody actually pens it. And, yeah, we loaded the premium because you can't pen a Roger Dodger in the drive wheel with the 167 pen. You need more than that. So we're looking for shots at the lower plate of that 50 TP. Fortunately enough for me, he drives straight up, giving me a nice shot into the lower plate. And it's like, right, okay, I'm going. I'm pushing across because I don't want to get stuck on this rock here. We get a nice shot into the Ragnarok on the move. Unfortunately, we take 2 taps from the Ragnarok and the STA2. Fortunately enough, the Ragnarok gets shut down for it. We side-scrape to try and get a nice shot into the STA, but unfortunately it misses. And we're just going to side-scrape off this rock a minute to see if we can get some shots. But he's getting rushed now, so he's pulling back. He's also getting tagged quite a few times. So it's like, right, okay, we're going to have to push. We've lost a lot of health at this point as well, so it's not looking great at the minute. And I remember thinking, oh, not again, this is typical, because this is exactly what happened in my KV-5 every time I got close to, you know, anywhere close to 3 marking it. Now, I'm having to pull back because the 53 TP and has a 50-50 chance of killing me, and obviously I don't want to take the big hits. So we're moving forward to try and get in front of all of our guys, and I'm thinking about getting the shot at this medium tank that's here, which is a T-34-3 Black. Because if I get to this rock up here, I can shoot the guy in the ass there that's stopping our guys from pulling forward. Now, he's actually looking at us, so I get kind of lucky there that he only tracks me. And then it's like, okay, the Roger Dodger's kind of in a dodgy place too. We get a nice shot into his lower plate. And we're now in sort of territory where we've got the farm in front of us. and we've not got any assistance damage. So we've got team in front of us that are shooting. So we want to be getting the assistance. So we're trying to keep people tracked. So you saw me keep tracking that Roger Dodger. Finally, we got some damage on him, and I'm thinking about penning the lower plate of this Tiger 2, but I've got everyone with me. So I track him, and look what happens. He gets demolished, and just like that, we got 1,300 tracking. If we hadn't gone for the track, we'd have only got about 600 damage. So we ended up boosting our damage for the MOE twofold by just getting that track. And really, getting that track is what gets me the 3rd mark for this tank, to be perfectly honest. Because the damage alone that I've got, 2.3, probably wasn't enough. It would probably put me just below. But with the tracking and the 1,500 assistance, that's 3.8k combined. So that's more than enough, because the KV Gorenish at the time was about 2.7. It was about 2.7k to 3 mark. That's what you needed. And when I say 2.7k to 3 mark, you needed to do 2.7k or get more than that. And that was just for movement, for basic movement. Now, I've given up on our cap because I'm never getting there. And I've looked at our team, and we've got a TD and a heavy and a medium that are closer. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to go for the damage on this Iron Rain. I'm never going to get to the cap. I'm giving up on that. But unfortunately, the Iron Rain gets himself caught out and gets himself shot up. So my move to go up that way is null and void, really. We've got 37 seconds after our cap, but look at the map. We've got enough people charging it now that they're going to reset it. So pretty much my game's over. But yeah, so you see, my game's over right now. And if we hadn't got that tracking assist on the Tiger 2, we'd probably be sitting at... Because, I mean, we didn't get to damage him with the second shot. I mean, that's a good point. We didn't even get to really... He died just as our shot hit him. I think we actually finished him off for like 8. So really, we'd have had, what, 400 extra damage on top of that? So we'd have been at 2.7, so we'd have probably just about held. But because of that tracking, and that's how important it is to recognise where you need tracking, we managed to push ourselves over that 3rd mark boundary. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!